Welcome to day 9 of the category mistake, living with anxiety. How is everyone today? It's a beautiful Friday in the state of Maine. It's supposed to rain tomorrow because it's the weekend. Um, so, doing this for 9 whole days. I'm surprised I've lasted this long. I'm not really good at, being consistent. The times are always different because things come up. So I've been working on my deck a little bit because our contractors stopped showing up. They just magically, poof, disappeared. We didn't pay them, so I guess it's okay. They haven't finished it. So I got something interesting in the mail today. I ordered these about 2 years ago. They're my little army medals. If you've been in or you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. I ordered them because I have a shadow box that my dad made me, and I wanted to put them in there. But they took so long, I used my OG medals to put in there, and I ordered these when I started, and they just came in. So now I've got like a bunch of, put it in the camera, there we go, a bunch of military medals showing that I'm a gosh darn war hero. No, I'm not, but I pretend to be. See, when you're in the military and you're not special forces or, GI freaking Joe, you normally have a real job in the military. You could be a clerk, you could be a heavy truck operator person, you could be a mechanic, you could be an engineer, you can do lots of different things, but in the Army, your first job is to pull a trigger, your second job is everything else. Special Forces, their first job is to pull a trigger, their second job is to pull a trigger, and their third job is to pull a trigger. They do really well with that one job. Now, I could never do that job, okay? I am not in the mindset to just pull a trigger because. Now, have I pulled a trigger? Yes. Did I like pulling a trigger? No. Will I have to do it again? I hope never in my life. Now, if the government comes to me and says, hey, you're back, baby, I can't really do much about it. If you know, you know. Once the government kind of pulls you in, you're there for forever. Even when you get out, they can always find a reason to bring you back. So I always hope for no World War III, because I really don't want to go back in, okay? And it's not because I hate my country or hate my service. It's more that been there, done that, didn't like it the first time, didn't like all the craziness that happened to me, to others, and it's just not worth it. So thinking about my Army service and my time in service, I was thinking about it yesterday. We talked about some positive things in my life and kind of what's made me me, and will I look back and change anything? And I said, of course, no. It's a wonderful life thing, Do it this way, there we go. George Lasso's The Moon, okay? That's from It's a Wonderful Life. And the whole point of it is, he wishes he never existed. Everyone would be better off. Thinking about that a lot. Because, everyone's had those days, and I've had those days a lot lately. And what I'm trying to do with this and with other things is I'm just trying to figure out, okay, why do I have that feeling? And is it that bad? Now, life is not that bad for me, okay? I'm not living on the street. I'm not homeless. I'm not addicted to drugs of any kind other than caffeine, which I'm working on. I'm in pretty good health, and my big stress is my mental health is a little off. And I'm working on that. So I'm not, we're not talking like world-changing things. But in my life, I've had those moments. Looking back at my military stuff, though, I realized when I went in the first time and the second time, I was a horrible soldier. Horrible is an understatement, okay? I knew the rules, I knew the orders, I knew what to do. I just didn't care. I was one of those soldiers, I did my job really, really well. People can attest. I did my job well. I wasn't a good soldier, though. I did not care about formation. I did not care about going to the board. I didn't care about Soldier of the Month. I didn't care about any of that. What I cared about is, here's my job. This is what I need to do. This is how to fix it. This is how to make it work. Go. That's what I did. And I think that helped me when I deployed, but it hurt me when it became to, Army stuff. It also, this attitude got worse once I went in the second time. When I deployed, when I did my thing. See, when I was deployed, we had our morning stuff, okay? We had our morning meeting. But because of the job I did, no one ever checked up on me. So I just kind of had this better than thou God complex thing going, where I knew that I was going to do my job. I knew how to do it right. People left me alone as long as there's things work. As long as the power turned on, the air conditioning turned on, they left me alone. I think that kind of hurt me because in the military, in the army, in certain jobs, you can have that. You can get away with that. If you are the subject matter expert, if you are in charge of your thing, it works great if you're in the service. If you're in the civilian world, the real world, I can't walk into a place and consider myself a subject matter expert, no matter how long I've done it. When I got home, I tried to do a job with generators. This is what I did in the military. I worked on diesel generators that were built like tanks. I tried to get a job with home generators that ran on, gas or propane, and they were tiny, big. I didn't dig cables with a shovel. I dug cables with a backhoe. But this job required me to dig holes with a shovel to run the lines. Also, I didn't worry about certain aspects of code because, I was in a war zone and code didn't matter as much. It was more, we need this to work, make it work, please. Thank you, Jesus. Okay? Different when we get home. So I get the job, I start doing the job, and I realize this is stupid. Why don't they just do it this way? Now, I told the guy who'd been doing this since he opened his business that it's easier if you do it this way. And of course, he's like, no, do it my way because it's my company, my way. And that got me in a lot of trouble. So when I left that job, I went to school, started teaching. Now, in the military, I taught people. I worked with people all different ages, shapes, and sizes, and you can do things a certain way. If a soldier ticks you off, if someone's not listening, you can make them do push-ups, you can yell at them, you can call them names. Works great. When you're a teacher and you're brand new, you can't do that. See, I was student teaching in a high school, and I lost my mind. I treated the students like they were soldiers. Next day, I got called in, hey, what you doing? And it really hurt me going forward because my student teaching ended like 2 weeks early because they just didn't want to. And it made it harder for me to get a license in the state I live. So I got a license in the state next door, and that was a lot easier. Taught there. Again, like I've said before, I taught there, worked with a teacher who's been doing for like 20 years, and I'm coming in like I know everything. Again, bad idea. Okay? Bad idea. Did it, not proud of it, learned from my mistakes. This is what I do. And I think the military didn't help. I think the way I was raised. Now, the way I was raised, I'm not blaming my mother. What I'm blaming is I did things without a lot of supervision. I did things, and I probably half did it. I didn't exactly go crazy with it. And the reason I didn't is no one checked on me. No one cared. It was almost like they were giving me things to do to get me to be out of the house. So whatever I got done was great. So I willy-nilly did. I learned how to cut corners and make things easier. Well, now I'm building a deck or repairing our deck and working with tools and doing things like that, trying to keep myself mentally sharp. And it's helping with my anxiety because I'm doing physical labor that I can do. It's screwing in wood and cutting it with a chop saw. We're not talking heavy, hardcore work here. I'm doing it, and what I'm realizing is everything I learned as a kid that I taught myself doesn't really work for good quality. So I've had to adjust. It's fine, right? I've adjusted. I'm working through it. Built something yesterday. I think I did a really good job. Anyway, the point is, Military did not help. My growing up didn't help. And now I'm dealing with anxiety. And again, yesterday was a good day. It was probably my best day in like 3 weeks. Um, but I still had some stressors, but overall it was good. It was okay. I was a little, I didn't go to sleep well. I think the medication change is screwing up my sleep a little bit, which, it happens. That's what it does. But what I also realize is with the medication change is I'm a little more chill and my anxiety doesn't stay at 100 for as long. So hopefully that continues. Now, today, woke up, got to do things, got to do this, got to do this. A little chicken with your head cut off type feeling today. And I'm hoping before I pick up my grandson and some of the other kids that are coming over for the weekend, I'm hoping I get this under control. Because I was outside and it wasn't that it was horrible outside. It was I'm measuring things out and it's not measuring out. It's not measuring out. I'm cutting it. It looks horrible. I can't focus on math. All I needed to do was cut out a piece 1.75 inches all the way, depth and 6 inches up. Simple math. You soup, done. Could not figure it out. It took me a good 30 minutes to figure it out. And I had a Sharpie and a ruler. Still, brain wasn't connecting. And when those things happen, it actually, probably with everybody else too, it builds up your anxiety, builds up your stress, it builds up your frustration. It's like if you're a dancer and every day you do the same routine. You know the routine. It's a great routine. Yeah. Practice. And then it's the day to perform and your first 3 steps, you're like, oh crap, what am I doing? Now it always comes back. It's weird. Our brain does snap to it. But while you're doing it to start, you're beating yourself up for that first 2, 3, 10 minutes. Because why is my brain failing me now? Now, I know dancers, I know people who dance, I guess dancers. Anyway, and they'll tell you performing when it's time, no matter how much repetition you have, sometimes it just doesn't work. I know for teaching, same thing. I know I had students memorize all the presidents in order. They would do it every day, and every day, perfect. Come time for the test, but then they'd remember. Something would snap, right? Same with their world maps. All these different things, they would be like, oh, wait, I know this. Gettysburg Address was the best example I always give. So I had my U.S. history teachers memorize Gettysburg Address and they're supposed to say it in front of the class. And when they started, they'd get to the 7 years ago, and then a lot of them would pause. And they'd have that look of, oh no. But what I would have them do is stop, start over, and don't pause. I said, just go. And normally that just go, the repetition came. See, when you're thinking of doing stuff, sometimes you overthink it and you focus so much on the parts that you struggle with that you hyper vigilant on that and you forget the rest of it. I would have these students do the Gettysburg Address all day, every day. They'd be saying it in the middle of the day. Some of them say they still say it now 4 or 5 years later, which is hilarious to me. And I think that's what's happening with me is, see, I've built things, I've done things in the past, but I've never focused on actually what I was doing. I kind of just did it. And I never measured. But now it's my stuff. And I want it to be right. I want it to look good. I want it to be good. So I'm actually more stressed out about it. I have a little more anxiety. That way, when the time comes, I'm good to go. But see, it just happened now. When I get anxious, and I bet this is a lot of people, when I get anxious, it feels like whatever's top of my mind kind of goes away, right? Kind of goes away. And it does that. I think it's a fight or flight type thing. And for the longest time, it was a fight for me, okay? I always fight it. My brain is starting to flight. It's almost like my brain is like, I'm tired of fighting. we're done. Just stop. And so yeah, that's what's going on there. Now, some positives going on. My wife and I are doing well. We've spent a lot of time talking to each other, kind of dealing with things, figuring out things, trying to understand each other. I think we're doing well. Do we fight? Yes. Do we argue? Yes. Do we disagree? Yes. Do we hate both spending money? Yes. Do we still spend money because we have to? Yes. There's lots of yeses there. But our love is strong. Our compassion for each other is strong. And that's something I was worried about when I started going through all this stress. I started thinking to myself, she's going to think I'm making it out. She's going to think that I'm a loser. She's going to think that I'm not strong enough to take care of myself. She's going to think all this stuff. And none of it. None of it. She has been supportive. I've had people who have reached out to me who have been supportive, who were students of mine, friends of mine, dads of mine, people who are just in my life, reach out and say, hey. But I've also had a few people who I have no idea who they are reach out to me too, which is great. But it's also like, wow, who are you and why are you talking to me? And I think that's the point of all this is we as a race, or at least, okay, I'm going to say me. I don't want to throw everybody under the bus. I sometimes forget there's a world around me. I think we all have that complex where the world revolves around you type deal, you know. I sometimes think my birthday is cursed because of all the crazy things that happened on my birthday. I sometimes think, you know, this team lost because I screwed up today, or this thing happened because I messed up today when it has nothing to do with me. Still take that blame. And that's normal for most people, right? And what I've learned over the last 2 or 3 weeks is the normal part is where I'm above. But I'm encouraged. Here's why I'm encouraged. One, day 9. Again, good job by me. By you, whoever's watching. Haley, I know you're one of them. Keep going. The day 9's a positive. Also, what's a positive is when I'm having these panic attacks, when I'm having these like moments where I feel the world is crushing my soul, my spirit, my chest. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I felt like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's hopeless. Okay. I don't feel hopeless anymore. I still have the stress. I still have, oh my God, but I don't feel like I'm going to fall apart. I hate it, everything about it. I hate the feeling. I hate the stress. I hate things. I hate it all. But I don't feel like I'm in a hole that I can't get out of. I feel like I'm in a hole that has a ladder or a step stool. I just have to work hard to get out of it. I have to jump on that and reach up and pull myself up. Now I'm hoping soon that hole gets a little less deep and it's easier to get out of. And maybe someday the hole will just be a little divot in the grass and I move on. I'm not sure how long that's going to be, but I'm here for the long run. Hope you all are too. So today I have a feeling I have to drive kind of far today, farther than I've driven for a while, except for when I drive by myself. I drive a little further than I was expecting. Something came up, so I have to go a little further. Driving still causes me anxiety. I wish it didn't. I wish there was something I could do to change that, but there isn't. Not right now. I can stop driving, but do I really want to be stuck at home all day without driving? Right now, no. But maybe someday, maybe that's the next thing I have to kind of tweak more of. So I'm going to go pick up some kids. I'm going to spend some time with the kids and enjoy my weekend. I'm also going to this weekend reach out because I found a support group online for people with anxiety and stress and depression. And it's local-ish. It's in my state. So I'm going to reach out and maybe go to one of their little meet and greet thingies to see if that is helpful. I'm not sure if it will be. I've never done group therapy group talk stuff. This is the only group stuff I've ever done. Um, but I might try it. I gotta try. I gotta keep pushing that envelope of mine of comfortability. So this weekend I'm gonna reach out to them, and I'm hoping that's another positive step. Again, if you have any other ideas, if you if you want to chat, if you want to talk, if you want to communicate, I'm all for it. If you know who I am, you know where I live, and you want to have a lunch and just sit and talk, let me know. If you don't live nearby, but you still think I'd go to lunch with you, I might. I don't know. It depends on who you are. Let me know. I think talking, communicating, expressing, um, doing the daily grind is actually a good thing for all of us. So thanks for watching. A little shorter today, and that's okay. I'm just glad you all are watching. I'm glad someone might be getting benefits out of this. And tomorrow and Sunday, I'll be off. Monday, I'll tell you how my weekend went. I'm working on a surprise for Lynn. I'm really hoping to find some answers about that today. Let you know on Monday, because that'd be kind of cool if it does, because this is a big one. So, all right, till next time. Monday is my wife's birthday. So if you know her, wish her a happy birthday. Okay? Thanks, everyone.